Hey everyone, Graham here. So I've got some seriously exciting news for Canadian travelers. We're about to see 3 new carriers launch from Toronto in spring 2026. And I'm going to show you exactly how to book them using points for a fraction of what you'd pay in cash. But here's what most people don't know. While everyone's going to be scrambling to book those new Toronto carriers, there are some absolutely insane value points redemptions hiding in plain sight from Canadian cities like Montreal, Calgary, Halifax, and Vancouver that are available to book right now. I'm talking redemptions as low as 29,000 points for business class to Europe, and premium cabins to Asia that most people don't even know exist. Today I'm breaking down everything you need to know about these routes, the exact points costs, which credit cards give you best access, and most importantly, when these flights are actually available. Plus, I'll show you a Virgin Atlantic redemption that's so good, it almost feels illegal.
I was acting.
If you're ready to turn your points into incredible travel experiences, let's dive in. The new carriers serving Toronto. Iberia to Madrid. Let's kick things off with Iberia's return to Toronto. Starting in spring 2026, Iberia will be operating non-stop service between Toronto Pearson and Madrid on their Airbus 321 XLR aircraft. Iberia will be operating 5 weekly flights during the summer season on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and these start on June 13th, 2026. Now here's what makes this route special from a points perspective. Iberia is part of the One World Alliance, which means you can book these flights using British Airways Avios. And for us Canadians, that's actually easier to access than you might think. Looking at the redemption costs, we're seeing business class for as low as 40,500 Avios, plus about 200 in taxes and fees. Or economy for 16,000 Avios plus 152 CAD in fees. These are now essentially the cheapest and most accessible points flights from Canada to Europe. How do you get British Airways Avios as a Canadian? There's 2 main ways. RBC Ion points transfer to Avios at a 1-to-1 ratio. We regularly see 30% transfer bonuses that make this an even better deal. There's actually one on right now until mid-December, meaning you could transfer 33,000 RBC Avion points right now and book business class to Europe. That's insane. Or you can transfer American Express Canada membership rewards to British Airways at a 1-to-1 ratio. Still good value, but Avion with a transfer bonus is the move if you have them. I have a referral link in the description below if you want to get my favorite Avion card to start maximizing those points. Finnair to Helsinki. Next up, we've got Finnair launching service from Toronto to Helsinki. This is one I'm particularly excited about because Finnair is consistently rated as one of the best European carriers, and Helsinki is absolutely an underrated gem of a city. Finnair will be flying this route on their Airbus A350-900, which is a beautiful modern aircraft with some seriously comfortable lie-flat business class seats. We're looking at about 30,000 Avios for economy, 43,500 for premium economy, and 62,500 Avios plus taxes and fees for business class. That business class redemption is right on line with what you would expect for a transatlantic flight, and the product is excellent. Their seat is controversial, but I really enjoyed it when I tried it for the first time. I will say that these flights on points are much less accessible than Iberia's flight to Madrid. Still, it is possible to find, especially if you're looking last minute. The Helsinki to Toronto route starts on May 4th, 2026, and will run 3 times weekly through August 29th, 2026, with flights operating on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. Like Iberia, Finnair is also bookable using British Airways Avios as a One World partner. This means the same strategy applies. Use RBC Avion or Amex membership rewards to get your Avios. One pro tip, Finnair seems to only be releasing 1 business class seat far out to their other cities that they operate to, but they often release more seats last minute. If you need more than 1 seat, wait and see to book. Air Serbia to Belgrade. Now, this one's a bit of a dark horse, but hear me out. Air Serbia is launching non-stop service from Toronto to Belgrade, and this could be one of the most underrated routes of 2026. Air Serbia flies an older Airbus A330-200 aircraft on their long-haul routes. And while they're not going to compete with the elite carriers in terms of luxury, they offer a solid business class product at reasonable points cost. We're seeing 40,000 Aeroplan points for economy, or 70,000 points for business class plus fees. Air Serbia will resume direct flights between Belgrade and Toronto on May 23rd, 2026, and they'll fly twice weekly on Wednesdays and Sundays. Since Air Serbia is a Star Alliance partner, this one's actually the easiest for Canadians to book. Just use Air Canada Aeroplan points directly. No transfers needed, no complicated partner programs. If you have an Aeroplan credit card from TD, CIBC, or Amex, you're already in business. You can also transfer Amex Canada membership rewards to Aeroplan at a 1-to-1 rate. The availability on Air Serbia tends to be looking pretty good, especially in business class, often with 2 seats available. They're not running daily service, so you'll need to work around their schedule, but the redemption value is excellent. The Virgin Atlantic London sweet spot. Now, before we move on to the other Canadian cities, I need to tell you about this Virgin Atlantic redemption that's been flying under the radar. It's not a brand new route, but it's one of the best value redemptions I've ever seen. Virgin Atlantic has been offering some incredible winter and spring redemptions from Toronto to London Heathrow. We're talking as low as 29,000 Virgin points for business class and 10,500 points for premium economy. Of course, they add some taxes and fees, but nowhere near what their competitor British Airways would charge you. You can't transfer them from any Canadian credit card programs directly. If you don't have any ways to earn them, the fastest way to get some would be to buy points directly from Virgin Atlantic when they have a bonus promotion on, or to use a US credit card if you have access to those. Still, with a redemption cost this low, it is absolutely worth looking into. The hidden gems from other Canadian cities. Montreal to Munich on Lufthansa. Alright, now we're getting into the really good stuff that most people are completely sleeping on. Montreal to Munich on Lufthansa is available right now for only 60,000 Aeroplan points in business class. And there's fantastic availability throughout summer 2026. Here's what makes this route extra special. Lufthansa flies their newer A350 on this route, and many of these aircraft have the 1-to-1 business class configuration. If you've ever flown Lufthansa's older business class with the 2-to-2 layout, where window seat passengers have no direct aisle access, you'll know why this matters. The A350 product is night and day better. I've personally flown this route and was genuinely impressed. The hard product is excellent, the service was professional, and Munich is an absolutely wonderful city to visit, maybe more so than Frankfurt. At 60,000 Aeroplan points, this is the cheapest it gets for Aeroplan business to Europe. Calgary to Munich or Frankfurt on Discover Airlines. Calgary travelers, this one's for you.
Aw, for me?
Don't sass me.
Discover Airlines, which is Lufthansa's leisure subsidiary, has been flying from Calgary to both Munich and Frankfurt with great availability all summer 2026 long. Business class is bookable for 70,000 Aeroplan points. Now, I do need to be honest with you about Discover's business class product. It is not the best. The seats are in a 2-2 configuration, which means if you're in a window seat, you have no direct aisle access. This is why I'd recommend either flying this with a travel companion, so you can book the window pair together, or if you're traveling solo, book one of the 2 middle seats and enjoy direct aisle access. If you have a bladder of steel, then by all means, book a window seat solo. That said, at 70,000 points plus fees, this is still great value for getting to Europe in a lie flat seat. Plus, both Munich and Frankfurt are excellent hubs for onward connections throughout Europe and beyond. And let's be honest, the options out of Calgary are limited. Halifax to Frankfurt direct on Discover Airlines. Halifax residents, you're getting the same Discover Airlines opportunity, but here's where it gets even better. The redemption cost from Halifax is only 60,000 Aeroplan points for business class. That's 10,000 points cheaper than Calgary. The same caveats apply about the 2-2-2 seat configuration, but at 60,000 points, this is still phenomenal value. Halifax is often overlooked when people are searching for award flights, which means availability tends to be much better here than in other major Canadian cities. Frankfurt is Lufthansa's main hub and one of Europe's biggest connection points, so the routing options from here are virtually unlimited. Whether you want to stay in Germany, hop over to the Mediterranean, or even connect to Africa or the Middle East, Frankfurt sets you up perfectly. Vancouver to Taipei on China Airlines. This is one of the most underrated redemptions in the entire Canadian points game. You can book business class from Vancouver to Taipei for only 62,000 Air France KLM Flying Blue miles. Now, there is a catch. Flying Blue miles are somewhat tricky for Canadians to earn. The main way is to transfer American Express Canada membership rewards at a 1-to-0.75 ratio, which means you need to transfer about 83,000 Amex points to get 62,000 Flying Blue miles. Is it still worth it? Absolutely. Here's why. The alternative is to book EVA Air from Vancouver to Taipei using Aeroplan points, which will cost you at minimum 75,000 points. That sounds great, right? Except EVA award space is nearly impossible to find. When it does open up, it's usually only one business class seat at a time, and it gets snatched up super quickly. Compare that to China Airlines on Flying Blue, where there's consistent availability year-round with 2+ business class seats available on many flights. For a couple traveling together or a family booking multiple seats, this is a game changer. Taiwan is also an incredible destination that deserves way more love than it gets, and it's a great hub to access the rest of Asia. Plus, booking through Flying Blue gives you that consistency and availability you just can't get anywhere else. How to earn the points you need. Now, I know you're thinking, okay Graham, these redemptions sound amazing, but how do I actually earn all these points? Great question. Here's the strategic approach. For Aeroplan points, the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite has an awesome first-year free offer on right now. If you're looking for a premium card, I'd pick the American Express Aeroplan Reserve or the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege. Both offer excellent welcome bonuses and a ton of other premium perks like unlimited Maple Leaf Lounge access. These points are incredibly versatile. You can book on all Star Alliance partners, including the ones I mentioned like Lufthansa, Discover, Air Serbia, and more. If you want to apply for any one of these cards, I have referral links in the description below with the current best offers. For Avios points, you have two main paths. First, RBC Avion cards like the RBC Avia Visa Platinum or the RBC Ion Plus, with a secret strategy I covered in a recent video. These points transfer to British Airways at a 1-to-1 rate, and we regularly see that 30% transfer bonus. Second, American Express Canada membership rewards cards like the Platinum, Gold, or Cobalt earn points that can transfer to British Airways at a 1-to-1 rate. Again, referral links in the description below if you want to get any of these cards and help support the channel. For Flying Blue miles, this one is trickier for Canadians. Your best bet is earning American Express Canada membership rewards points and transferring them to Flying Blue at that 1-to-0.75 ratio. It's not perfect, but for routes like Vancouver to Taipei, where availability is king, I think it's absolutely worth it. The key strategy overall here is to think about where you want to travel, figure out which points programs offer the best value and availability for that route, and then work backwards to determine which credit cards you need. Don't just collect points randomly, have a plan. The booking strategy. Here's my step-by-step approach to actually securing these redemptions. 1. Figure out your rough travel dates. You don't need exact dates yet, but knowing summer 2026 or next winter helps you narrow your search. Step 2. Search for availability across multiple dates. Award seats come and go so quickly, so flexibility is your friend here. If you can be flexible by even a few days, your chances of finding space increase dramatically. Step 3, book when you find space, especially for these new routes. Everyone's going to be trying to book Iberia, Finnair, and Air Serbia for the first few months. If you see any availability, grab it and know you have 24 hours of free cancellation and can always cancel for a reasonable cancellation fee if you need to. Step 4, have a backup plan. Maybe your first choice is Finnair to Helsinki, but if you can't find availability, would you consider Iberia to Madrid instead? Having options keeps you from getting stuck or overpaying in cash. And there you have it, your complete guide to the best new and existing redemptions for Canada in 2026 and beyond. If you want to start earning the points you need for these flights, check out the description below where I've got referral links to all the best Canadian travel credit cards. Using these links helps support my channel at no cost to you. Now go forth and book some incredible flights. See you in the next video.